the site for a multifaceted, state-of-the-art entertainment complex that will bring world-class thoroughbred racing to Massachusetts. Leveraging electronic gaming as a component piece allows us to provide a facility and an experience that will rank among the world's best, like Saratoga or Churchill Downs. Now, we were up at Granite Links earlier today at 11 o'clock, and I think we chose to do that because there's a common thread. Granite Links was an incredibly difficult project to permit and build, and it was really a story about what's possible. And I see a parallel here in Wareham because there's a lot of people that are going to say this is so big and how are you going to get it done and it's so complicated. Well, we specialize in complicated and we think that this is worth fighting for, and we believe in the possibilities. So you know where Wareham is, but I think it's important to know where Wareham is in context of Region C and also as it relates to some of the other license holders in the state. So basically we think Wareham is perfectly located. We basically believe that the Category 1 license that's currently available in Region C will never be awarded to anyone. If you go south in the region and you start to draw 30-minute drive times and 60-minute drive times, there are no customers. Way south it's mostly water, so that doesn't make any sense. It's a little more interesting in the north. You have to think about the Gaming Commission. The Gaming Commission's mandate with all of these licenses is to create robust, long-term, sustained tax revenue from gaming. Robust, long-term, sustained tax revenue from gaming. You'll never, ever be able to cite a Category 1 license in the north of Region C without significantly cannibalizing or destabilizing the existing license holders. It wouldn't make any sense. So what we think makes sense is that the Gaming Commission should be given the authority and the discretion to right-size a license. Basically, there's a license available. It's too big. It's an encore style kind of full destination casino. That doesn't make sense here in Wareham, or I think makes sense anywhere in Region C. But that doesn't mean there couldn't be an appropriate level of electronic gaming similar to the size of the license that's in Plainridge Park, and that's what we're calling for, a Category 2 license. That's a lot to say about Wareham. I basically said strategically located to minimize any potential impact on existing gaming operations. This location optimizes existing traffic patterns, retention of dollars currently leaving the state, tourism, and economic development generation in the heart of southeastern Mass. So we can come back to this again because it's a super important visual, but we'll let Bill try to switch it down. We had to show this in Quincy because they don't know what this looks like. So you have a much better visual because you can just look beyond the board. We obviously know that this is an approximately 300-acre site and it's currently an active gravel pit. We also know that it's currently zoned R130, a residential zoning. So what's allowed is up to 200 new homes. But as I met neighbors and talked with town officials, basically that is not the preferred use for this site. I think we have, what's next? Yes, that's the plan. Great. Billy, you're doing great. Besides telling us, please no more residential, the neighbors and town officials we spoke to had real concerns about site access. As you can see, the property is located directly along Route 25. Directing cars through residential neighborhoods is not only problematic for our neighbors, but it's a problem for the viability and sustainability of the entire project. Very quickly, we realized that an exceptional project requires exceptional access, and we've included an interchange in our plan to address it directly. We don't believe this project is viable without it, and our goal is not to just mitigate traffic impacts, but to upgrade and significantly improve traffic in this entire area. As you can see, the heart of this plan is a full 1-mile thoroughbred racetrack. This is not your father's racetrack. This is a new state-of-the-art, world-class thoroughbred racing facility in the same class as Saratoga or Churchill Downs. We have also designed it in consultation with top industry experts, including equine health and and wellness consultants that worked with us on the design of an equine health facility. Specialized architects have designed barns to comfortably stable over 500 thoroughbred horses. As I said earlier, I have serious doubts that a full Category 1 destination resort casino is viable in this market. We have market studies that demonstrate strong economic viability for a smaller Category 2 license, and we believe that combining that with a unique, multifaceted, and top quality entertainment experience has a much greater chance for long-term sustainable success. Let me stress here that this is not another casino project. I do not think that another casino project is viable at this time. We intend to leverage electronic gaming to create a transformational and industry-saving, world-class thoroughbred racing and entertainment venue. The structure next to the racetrack houses both the grandstand and proposed gaming floor. That's here. Each of the elements are designed to work together and to complement and enhance each other. One tremendous benefit that I'm very proud to reveal here is a new permanent home for the Wareham Gatemen, the 2018 Cape Cod Baseball Champions. Other key elements of the project include a 171 key hotel, as well as new retail, restaurants, and entertainment. One thing that we also wanted to do was provide rendering so that people could get a better visual impression of what we're talking about here on the site. So this is obviously what the site would look like. You'd come off of Route 25 and pass by the Gateman's new field, and obviously it's the perspective towards, I guess, the hotel end of the site. And then the second rendering is just a visual from, is it underneath there? It's just the opposite direction, kind of from that end back towards the Gateman field, which you can see up here. I think it's useful to just kind of get an idea of the scale of the project and the magnitude of what we're talking about here. This is truly a regional economic development plan. This touches on so many different components. It's not any one thing. It's not just electronic gaming. It's just not thoroughbred horse racing. It's just not the Gateman. It's just not a hotel. It's so much more. The thing that's important for Wareham are some of the benefits. So the last board, I think, is one of the things that people of Wareham should be thinking about. This project will be a massive economic development engine for Wareham, Southeastern Mass, and the state. It will be a unique destination without peer or competitor, and the benefits are too many to quantify, but the numbers are what matter, so here we go. This is providing you a realistic yet conservative estimate of what we expect to exceed. Over $300 million invested in Wareham. We would expect over $50 million annually in revenue to the Commonwealth. We'd expect in excess of $5 million in annual revenue to the town of Wareham. This project we expect to create over 1,000 permanent jobs, 1,000 construction jobs, as well as additional revenue to some surrounding communities, and the revival of the thoroughbred racing industry in Massachusetts. Let's not underestimate the importance and value of reviving the thoroughbred racing industry in Massachusetts, with effects and benefits that will ripple through farms, businesses, breeders, trainers, technicians, and much more. That is our plan. It's an absolutely incredible opportunity for Wareham, the region, and the entire state. In order for this to happen, the state legislature would need to give the Massachusetts Gaming Commission the discretion to right-size the gaming license already designated exclusively for Region C. There is a full Category 1 destination resort casino license sitting on a desk in Boston, but that license may never be awarded because the market has changed since the gaming law was written. A full casino may not be viable in this market, and that leaves southeastern Massachusetts out of the running for the economic development opportunities, the jobs, the tax revenue generation from which the rest of the state is benefiting. The legislature should modify the gaming law to give the Massachusetts Gaming Commission the ability and discretion to open up Region C for a competition and award a right-sized license to the applicant with the most viable and sustainable plan. We believe we have that plan. I really, really do appreciate you all taking the time to come out to hear about what we're proposing, and I would be happy to take any questions, and I would be happy to have some of my teammates answer them.
I guess, I think we've already mentioned it, but the town officials in Wareham are ready to sign off on the deal.
Oh, it's far more complicated than that. Basically, this will come to a town referendum. So this is a town vote. This is up to the voters of the town.
I guess I should say I've seen optimism from town officials.
I think the town has indicated that it would like to expand its commercial base. Taxes are a constant conversation, it seems. So I think there's an open-mindedness.
Hi. How likely do you think it is that the Gaming Commission will amend their laws to allow for this?
So it starts with the legislature, so that's the House, and we feel as though with the licenses already in, wherever the map is, MGM, Encore, and Plainridge Park, there's only Region C left. And where they have already opened up Region C for a competition, they had one applicant, and it was denied. So that's a context clue, right? So indications are really, I think, that a Category 1 license doesn't work. So that makes me think that the legislature, in its wisdom, will want to turn its attention to Region C and recognize that the world has changed significantly since 2011. And I think that it's likely that they'll want to do something positive and be able to empower the Gaming Commission and give them the authority and the discretion to open up a competition. And I stressed in a competition quite deliberately because I'm not sure if this is the best plan. I think it's a great plan, but I think only in a fair and open, transparent competition will we know if there's a better idea out there. Maybe there's someone in Falmouth or Freetown, or name another town. We don't know, and we'll never know unless the Gaming Commission is given that authority to open up Region C for a competition. We'd really, really welcome the opportunity.
Do you have a proposed timeline for the project?
Great question. We certainly hope that the legislature turns its attention to this when they're back in session, which is very soon. If they voted to tweak 23K, the gaming law, and allow the Gaming Commission that discretion, that would be a process that would take through next year. Then, if we were successful and the town voted in a favorable referendum vote, we'd be moving forward with plans. I would imagine construction is a 2-year time frame. So those are some very rough estimates.
So about like 2022 or something?
Good guess.
So,
I could have just said 2022. Saved about 150 words. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to narrow it down for the next answer.
I know you say it's not going to. You're not interested in doing a full-scale casino, obviously, but I think you did mention that there would be some casino-like gaming.
We're talking about electronic gaming. We're talking about a Category 2 license, which is 1,250 slot machines, basically. They're electronic games. No table games allowed. It's basically a similar license to what is in Plainville, Plainridge Park.
Any possibility of simulcasting at all?
Would hope so.
Yeah.
It's a good question, and yes, I would certainly hope so. Yes.
You talked about access to the property.
Yes.
What was your thoughts about? You wanted to get right off of 25?
Yes, I'm sorry. I probably didn't do a good enough job here focusing on the plan. I didn't want to turn my back to the interchange.
What's the process for getting an exit like that?
You know what? I'm going to ask Jeff Conchio to give us a step into the line.
Yeah, no, don't. My name is Jeff Torchio. I'm a land permitting attorney. So basically, we have to go through the NEPA process, which is a state process, and then also federal highway gets involved because it's a federal highway. It's a significant process. It could be 2 years. It could be slightly longer, and we understand that. One of the things that we experienced over at Granite Links when they were making that place available to take all the big dig clay, they were actually able to relocate what is exit 8 on Route 3 going into Boston. So we do have some experience with that, and we anticipate, as you can see behind Tom, we've got a 10% design that we're showing there that would allow for access off of 25 onto a boulevard road that I think the seeing there is probably about 1.25 miles in length. And what they would be doing is looking to contribute that to the town as a public amenity in order to not only serve this property, but also to provide a long-term stake in the ground for public infrastructure going into the future.
And in what way could that impact local traffic off, besides the highway, local high roads?
Oh, what it will do is there's approximately 2.5 miles from the driveway here on Glen Charlie all the way to exit 2. So what we would see when we look at this is it would give people an opportunity to take this boulevard to get directly to 25 if that's where they're going, thereby reducing all of the traffic that folks have to deal with on a daily basis who live all along Glen Charlie Road.
Thank you.
So is it correct that you would not be interested in building this project if you can't get that direct access off 25?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's a process, though. That's a permitting process.
Right,
That's-
of course.
You know, we've already established that it meets the separation from.
Right. So it meets all the criteria for distance from the other, the other interchanges. And as you know, between Maple Spring and then Glen Charlie Road, not a full intersection, but they kind of act as a single intersection, interchange. But there's 0.8 of a mile between the two. So what you wind up with is a significant portion of limited access Mass DOT area, kind of reminiscent of older Upper Cape traffic infrastructure. If you pull into Glen Charlie, it says formerly exit 1. So, it's a highway that's in transition along with the neighborhood. So this is what Mass DOT, this is what transportation planners look for, the opportunity. So to actually have an opportunity where somebody is saying, not only are we going to have a reason to come here, but also we have a situation where we're able to provide the land, make it available, to support all of this public infrastructure.
Thank you.
Well,
I hope I was clear enough on the distinction between the Category 1 licenses and the Category 2 licenses. I just want to make sure that there's absolutely
I don't know if you're able to tell at all at this point. Do you know what a max capacity would be for if the project was to go for customers and business net, I guess?
I have no idea, and I don't want to speculate at this point.
No.
2022, Rich. Do you have any other questions?
Quick question.
Sure.
Would you allow sports betting there if the state allows sports betting?
I'm not sure what that law is even going to look like. This project is not in any way connected to that or dependent on that. We're just really focusing on the electronic gaming connected to the Category 2 license, the thoroughbred racing, and all those other components. We don't know how that's.
I think it's important we're losing revenue to the state of Rhode Island with people going to Tiverton right now, and I think there's a big thing in sports betting. So
I agree with you. Where's my map?
I would be in favor of that.
One of the best things about this location is that not only are we not, sorry, I'm putting you to work here. So, one of the great things about this location is that not only would we not significantly in any way cannibalize or destabilize the existing license holders, but we would expect to pull a great deal of dollars back into Massachusetts. So I think that if there's any cannibalization, it's going to be from the folks in Rhode Island. So that's what the Gaming Commission would want to see. That's what we as tax-paying citizens in the Commonwealth here would want to see.
Where's the track?
That's a great question. Gabe, where are you?
Yes, right here.
It's time for you to step into the limelight, my friend. You can hide back in the sun, but I'm going to put you right. This is our lead engineer, Gabe Crocker, everybody. And he has the answer to that question. Hello. You want to put the map up?
Yeah,
That would be great. Put it up from here.
more or less, what we're looking at in terms of the middle of the gravel pit is essentially the infield of the track. It extends. It's a 1/2 mile long by a 1/4 mile wide, so it actually extends past the tree line that you see there and a little bit up past it here. But you're more or less looking at the extent of it as you sit here, down into what will be the track.
will the plan to show where we're standing now? Is it behind there, Bill?
We're more or less standing right in. right in about here, looking down in that direction, right down across here.
Basically saying where the, where the grandstand might be, general area. Where we are right now.
Yep, that's about right.